welcome back to Let's Code TI Basics. So, why is caps on? So we are going to get back to coding. Insert calculator, new page, insert a program editor, new. Now today we are going to do something a little bit fun. We are going to make a guessing game. So name this guess or whatever you want. And I'm going to teach you a couple new things, and we are going to get started. So first we want to localize our variable. Now this, as way back when, makes it so it won't appear. Now, localize. So you basically leave that alone for now. Now, you're going to need three variables. You're going to need x and c. And then we'll get to a third variable later. Now c equals 0. And x will equal a random integer from 1 to any number you want, but for the sake of this tutorial I'm doing 100. Now, here is a new command. It's called LBL. This basically means a label. This is good for finding specific parts in the code to jump to. So we are going to label this start, or whatever you want, but you're going to have to remember it. Now before we go any farther, we are going to come up here and localize our variables. So x comma c. Now back down at start, we are going to use the command request. Basically what this does is, if we make a new one here, calculator. Now request makes a pop-up window with whatever is in the quotation marks will appear here. And this is the variable it's assigning to. Now, you can only use request for numbers. So I do hi 6. So now if we say hi, it will say 6. You cannot use this for letters, however. We will get to request string later. So we are going to do a request. Now, we want it to be enter number, or any way you want for it to enter a number. This is what you're going to be guessing. Now you can name this whatever you want. I'm going to call it input. But whatever you name it, you have to come up here and localize it. Now next, we're going to create a new line of code. Now this is the if statement. You learned this from the coin, but if you don't, it's basically if, then, else, and if. But we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do if, else if, and if. So, if input equals 101, then go to end. Now, this is basically a little way to exit the program. Now, well, it's 101 because it's one more than that. So the number you were trying to do will never get to it. But basically, the go-to command will go to end. Basically means it will find where it says LBL end and then do this part of the code. So we're going to do if input equals 101, then go to end. Now we are going to add a LBL end right down here. So basically this means if it's 101, then end the program. Now you can do end program, but this will cause an error. And for the sake of the tutorial, we're not going to work on fixing the error. We're just going to go to end and LBL end. So next, we want to get to the actual coding. Now, we're going to do else if input is greater than x, then text, which we learned from the hello world, to hi. This is if it's greater than x, text. So if what you input is greater than x, then it will say too high. And then it is going to go to start. So it's going to loop back to here, and it's going to ask you for a number again. And then it's going to go through this code again. Go to start. Else if input is less than x, then you're going to want to do text to low. So if what you say is less than x, then say it's too low. Then you're going to want to go to start. Now we still haven't added a win scenario, so we're going to do an else if input equals x. Now there's no colon here, it's just plain old equals. Then text you win. Now you may be wondering this variable c. We will get to that later. That variable is optional. So say you win and go to end. Now just end if, which is ending the if statement, and we are going to upload that or store it, whatever. So we're going to go in here and we are going to play the guessing game. Enter number 50. Too high. 25. Too low. 34. You win. Amazing guessing. Now, what we are going to do next is we are going to add a how many tries it took you. Because that's great. I won in 1, 2, 3 tries. It's amazing. It should take you around 7 if you're smart by using binary, but we are going to add how many tries it took you. That is what C is for. Now, basically C equals 0. So C is 0 tries so far because you're just doing this. Now, when you request the string, before the if statement, you're going to want to do a C is C plus 1. This basically means every time you request this, it will also do C plus 1. Now, that is for counting how many tries you have. But we also need a way to display that. So we are going to go down to the win scenario, and after the text you win, we are going to do a display. You cannot text numbers. Well, you can only text strings. For example, if I were to go text C, and let's do a quick game here. 50, too low. 75, too low. 85, too low. 90, too low. 95, too low. 7, too low. 98, too low. 99, too low. Oh, 100. 100th shot. It will say, error, argument must be a string. So that is what happens if you do a text. So unfortunately, you have to do a display for this. We are going to do a display. It took, let me move my cursor, it took you, then space, then move out of the quotation marks. Then you have to do this, comma, C, comma, then quote, space. So it took you blank tries to get it. So that will say it took you blank tries to get it. So if we upload that, and we go to back to the application. Too high. 25, too high. 12, too low. 17, too low. 20, too low. 23, too high. 22, too high. 21. It will say it took you 8 tries to get it. So there you go. That is how you make a guessing application. It's 20 lines of code, pretty simple if you understand what you're doing. And I will see you next time.